Hello, my friends. This is Andy Falco Jimenez coming to you live from Yorba Linda, California. And watching that intro, I just realized I got to add the two products that came up after or came out after our launch on July 4th. Hope you all have had a good summer, and you guys have had time to hang out with your kids. If those of you that have kids that were in school, I know lots of my children's. So again, just in case you're watching this for the very first time, I have 6 kids, 9, 12, 15, two 16-year-olds, no, one 16-year-old, one 17-year-old, and a 29-year-old. And all of them have friends that have seemed to have gone to other countries and other states. I feel like everybody for a few years was not able to get out and do stuff. And it is kind of interesting. And maybe it's missed me, but I'm just looking at everybody, like everybody is somewhere other than home. And so I know that a lot of people have been very, very busy running around. And that goes with us too. We ended up getting out. We had the good fortune of going to Hawaii with two of the teenage girls, which was amazing, fantastic little vacation. Same girls have had cheer camp that they had in Palm Springs. Yes, Palm Springs in the middle of summer was 100 and miserable, whatever that was, 100, 116, 117. I don't know what it was. It was super hot. Hetty and I went and we spent the night there and had a really nice time while we went there. So reason I share all that with you is because I understand that if you are a part of my team on LifeWise, and I call it the Fearless team, if you're on the Fearless team, I know that many of you have been hard at work. There's a lot of you that are having great success of sharing the products with LifeWise to other people. You're adding people to your team, which is amazing. And then there's some of you that have signed up, but you're not. You just can't seem to get started. And that I understand that. One of the things is reason I brought up all the travels and all the things that are going on is that some of the reason may be the perception that you don't have time. The perception that I'm just too busy to really start this business. I'm telling you, you're never too busy. Do you talk to people? Do you talk to the Uber driver? Do you talk to the people sitting next to you on the airplane? Do you talk to people standing in line at Starbucks? How about people at church you're sitting next to? You have time. If you have time to talk to people, then you have time to launch your business and get going. Hence, the reason for doing this particular show today is to get back because I've been gone and haven't been able to do a show in a few weeks. So I want to make sure and come back and say hi to everybody. And again, praise those of you that are, I have a large number of people on my team and some of you are killing it. And right away I can see that you're adding people and people are buying products, and that's fantastic. And then again, like I said, there's a few of you that aren't. I sent this email, or not yet. Actually, I've written this email to go out to the team. Many of you that are on my team will get this email, and it's very similar to what I'm going to be talking about today. So I want you still to open the email because there's a few additional things that I've added in the email. But I want to talk a little bit today about those things that are the biggest enemy of success. Now, those of you that are watching that haven't quite made the decision to join me on LifeWise in this great company, this could help you too with whatever is causing you to lag behind in a way in your life that you're not able to get to the point of what you think is success. So I think some of these things I'm going to be talking about, whether or not that you want to join me at LifeWise, whether or not you are a team member with me on LifeWise, I think that you can have some of these, take some of these things that I'm going to talk about today and turn them around. All right, so stick it out anyway and listen. I just want to share with you the new product, the One. After you tear off the top, you open it up and then you have the One. These are supplemental vitamins. This is the one and only vitamin you're going to need to take. Look at all these, this whole list. You can bring it a little bit closer. That's an entire list of all the vitamins that are in this package, and you get a month's supply of vitamins that you take every day. Just tear this open and take the vitamins. It's all of them, and it's just so many. Go to the website That's in the description, livelifewise.tv. Click on that. That'll take you to my website. You'll be able to see all the ingredients there. And then the other new one is Shield for your immune system. Those of you that have an immune system that needs a little boost, this Shield, or a lot of boost, I think that's a good way of saying that. You're gonna use this product right here. I'm gonna share with you, for those of you who haven't seen it yet. This is the Shield. You open up the package. This has a great flavor, and you just peel it open and open it up. And inside is this little stamp. The stamp has all the ingredients that you need. You're going to have to go on the website, livelifewise.tv, click on that link, and then you're going to go and you're going to look at all the ingredients. You got GMI, zinc, vitamin D, quercetin, and beta-cyclodextrin is on this little stamp right here. You take and put it in your mouth, just like that. I do this all the time, and I should stop doing it, but because now I can't talk very well. But it will dissolve. It has a great flavor. It's grape flavored. So if you like grape in particular, you're going to love it. And when it dissolves, those ingredients that I just rattled off will then hit the receptors that are on the roof of your mouth and under your tongue and go to work right away. It doesn't take time at all. It's the same thing that Dream is. Dream is a stamp also. And when you take Dream, it goes to the receptors and you will fall asleep within minutes of taking Dream. And then Restore is a pill form of a vitamin that you take, or a supplement you take, that helps with inflammation. And then Clarity is the other product that we have that's amazing. I love it. It just adds clarity to your life and gives you a little boost of energy when you take it in the morning. So I take Dream to go to sleep at night, Clarity when I wake up in the morning. I also take Restore. You can take Restore without any food. At least I do. I can take it without food, and it doesn't give me an upset stomach or make me nauseous or anything like that. It goes right to work. I have a knee that has been hurt really badly, and it becomes inflamed and it swells up. And the Restore helps me with that particular knee. So, all right, let's get to these things right now about the things that get in the way of your success. And I love to journal. I was going to actually share my screen and show you my journal. My journal is filled up with thousands of entries. I love to journal, write things down. And so the last couple of days, I've been sitting here in my office now that I've had a few minutes to kind of sit down and jot down some things, and thought of 4 things that cause, at least for me in the past, have caused me to have difficulty with success. And then over time, I've been able to overcome these things that have slowed me down, and now I don't allow them to hamper my at least what I'm striving for to be success. And I'm hope that I'm sure you've heard of a lot of these things, but I'm just going to reinforce these with you and give you at least the 4 ones that the 4 things that it is that you need to get out of your life and work on every day, so that you can have success in your marriage, success in business, success with your kids, success, so that you, at the end of the day, you don't have the trouble of sleeping, it won't keep you up at night because you're just saying, why can't I have some success? What is it that's holding me back? And so the first thing, and one of the most important things, and the thing that I had to overcome early on, is one that I suffered from as a kid. And I was very fearful. I was fearful of standing up in front of people and reading even a book, fearful of putting myself out there so somebody could see either that I was good at something or bad at something. And of course, I did not want them to see I was bad at something. And so the first and foremost thing that I had to overcome was my fear of failure. Failure can be a huge obstacle to success. And it was mine for sure. It makes us hesitate and hinders our ability to take risks and move forward. The fear of making mistakes or facing rejection can paralyze our progress and keep us from reaching our full potential. And one of the ways that I see people that see, friends or colleagues of mine, or people that, they want to join me in business, or, even when I was had a dog training business, I had some people that wanted to join me as dog trainer, that even though they loved the thought of training dogs, they really had a big problem with putting themselves out there as an expert or even to go one-on-one with somebody and helping with their dog, they would get nervous. They just could not bring themselves to put them in a position of being this instructor or teacher because they were so afraid of not succeeding. And this fear paralyzed them. For me, early on in my life, I wanted to be able to entertain people. I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be a magician, but I just couldn't bring myself to stand in front of people and perform. And so what I ended up doing early on is that I put myself in a mental state of a character. And so as a magician, I gave my name's Andy. If you don't know that, you can't see it down below. I gave myself the name of Andini as my persona or as my character. And so I began to audition for, the opportunity to do magic at restaurants, or even audition for comedy shows at different venues and that kind of stuff. And so I was able to overcome the fear by putting myself into a character called Andini. Now, I don't know if that is going to be something that's going to be able to help you, but I know that once I got over the fear, this is the part of getting over the fear, is that once I got over the fear, I no longer had to do that. So I'm not sure what it's going to take for you personally to get over your fear of whatever it is that's holding you back from talking to somebody about your LifeWise products, or ordering the products and then sharing those products with people in your circle of friends and your family, that kind of stuff. That it could be the fear that they think that you might be involved in some pyramid scheme, or that you're now involved in another business and your other business have failed. And so you have this fear of them, talking to you or saying something to you in the sense that, oh, here he goes again, or here she goes again. She's joining one of those things, and now we got to listen to how fabulous it is, and then she'll never finish, she'll never do it, and so you end up instilling this fear in yourself that keeps you from even getting started. You know what? You could fail. You could stammer and stumble on your words, just like I did just a few minutes ago. And you can allow that to stop you from going forward, but you're never going to be successful if you never get over that fear that somebody's going to say something negative to you. They're going to say something negative to you probably no matter what. So, so you gotta understand that this is just part of the process that you're going to have to go through. But understand that Dr. Tracy Gibbs over at LifeWise and Rob Alwyn, they have put together a wonderful program with LifeWise, whether it is the website that people can go visit with great information. This is I think the third or fourth rendition of that website. It just keeps getting better. So you don't have to do that, right? So you can refer them very quickly. Say, hey, you know what? You want to learn more about these products? Simply go to my website, and then you give them the website that will lead them to the LifeWise website. And once they get there, they're going to see the professionalism of the website, the products and the ingredients and all the other information that's on there. And this will help you understand that you're not relying on yourself. You are relying on people that have had decades of experience and very intelligent people. Dr. Tracy Gibbs is a formulator that has had great success. And I forget what he said that he has, but he has hundreds of patents and success in this space. And so you don't have to necessarily know the science. Now you can know the product, you can have your testimony about how it works for you, but really you need to get over this idea that you don't have one of the best support systems possible in LifeWise. You do. So all you need to do is get over this anxiety or this fear that you have of saying, you know what, I have this new company called LifeWise, and I've been taking these products. The one Dream for sure is something that has really helped me, where I've had trouble sleeping. I'll get 2 or 3 hours of sleep and I wake up and I can't get back to sleep. Well, I started taking this product named Dream from my company called LifeWise, and it has changed my life. I can now get to sleep, and it's a slumberous sleep, and I get into a deep sleep so that when I wake up in the morning, I now feel refreshed. And if you want to try it, here's my website. Or if you happen to have the package, the Dream package on you, This is not what it looks like now. It actually changed from the cigarette looking package. And then you can say, here, I'll give you 3 of them. And why don't you go ahead and take one tonight before you go to bed and be ready. But don't take it before you're ready to go to bed. Only take it ready for bed because it goes to work right away. And stick that in your mouth. It'll dissolve. The ingredients will go into the receptors in your mouth, and you will have a slumberous sleep taking this product named Dream. And so I was able to just now give you an example of sharing Dream with somebody. And it's really not that difficult. You shouldn't have the fear of sharing something that actually works and then sending them either to the website where they can order it themselves or giving the product where they can try it themselves. And that's really all you need to do. So the fear of being a failure being the number one thing that I wanted to introduce you to and get you over is that this is the first thing you're going to have to get over, because it's going to paralyze your progress if you don't get through it. So get through this thing, this fear that you are not worthy, that you're not capable, that they're going to call you names, they're going to make fun of you, they're going to remember that you tried another different product some years ago and you never got started, or you failed, or what have you. Whatever those things are, that's in the past. You cannot change that. But I want you to move forward with confidence that at minimum, that even though you may stutter or stammer about what it is that you know about the product, you are going to be able to send them to the website where they can learn about it. And then the success will happen when they try the product for themselves, whether they buy it themselves or you give them some product to share. They'll see how fantastic it is. And now you're off the hook as far as, the professionalism of the website and the product itself. And then if they want to talk, if you don't know enough about the product and they want to talk to somebody, you just give them a phone number. You can have them call the home office. You can, if you're lucky enough to have the phone number of somebody that's been in it for a while, you can have them talk to me about the product, for instance. And then that will take you off the hook. So you got to get off the point of this first step of getting over the fear of sharing it with other people. If you don't, again, it's going to be one of the things that's going to be the thing that's going to keep you from being successful in anything. Whatever you're fearful of, if it's not even life-wise, it's something else. Mine for sure has been sharing the gospel with people. And as a Christian, that's pretty bad, considering that that's one of the criteria that God has for us is that we share the gospel with other people. And I've had for years the fear of sharing it with other people, to the point that I freeze up. But it's been getting easier and easier and easier. And as a matter of fact, as I close out this particular show, I'm going to share some scripture from the Bible about getting over your fear. All right, let's go ahead and get to number 2. Number 2 is a negative mindset. A negative mindset can alter our perception of our abilities, making us doubt our potential. It can lead to self-defeating behaviors and hinder our ability to achieve success. Maintaining a positive attitude, even during adversity, is critical to success. Oh my gosh, this is such a great one for me, is getting over the negative mindset. That there's a lot of different ways that this kind of shows itself in your life, but usually it has to do not necessarily just that you have fear, but you've done something in the past that's very similar, and then you failed, and so you have this negative attitude about trying it again, or about putting yourself out there, or the negative mindset about yourself that I'm just not good at sales. Oh, I'm just not good at sharing, a testimony with other people. I'm just I have a really stupid laugh, or I hate the way my voice sounds, or I hate the way I look. So that's why I don't do a Facebook Live. You have all these negative things that you say about yourself or your past or your circumstances that never allows you to get going. And it's different than fear, right? It's just that you don't have the confidence that you have these abilities, or that you can overcome what happened to you in the past, and now shed that negativity and say, you know what I'm going to learn from that mistake that I made. I'm going to learn from what it was that people said that they didn't like about what I had to say in that last thing. You have to learn to take these things where you failed and learn from them, and then turn them into a positive. especially these become useful to those people that you will end up signing up to join you with LifeWise, or again, maybe even the faith of Christianity, that you are going to be able to say, you know what, I used to be like that. So somebody will say, you know what, I can't do it because I get, I just can't talk about, my testimony because it hurts me to do so. Or, I'm trying to think of something where you've shared something and maybe somebody made fun of you in the past, which happens a lot with friends, right? Friends or family are the worst. where you shared something and they say, you're so stupid. And then then for weeks they ridicule you, right? And so now you begin to believe what it is they're saying about you, that you're stupid, or that, that your story isn't worthy, or what have you, whatever that is. And now you take that negativity into the next opportunity you have to share something, and you go, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm just not that good at doing this. I got other things. I'm so busy. I got so many things going on. And so you begin to use excuses. You begin to say, you know what, I'm just too busy to get started because, I'm traveling, or I got so many other problems that are existing right now. I got too many kids. I got too many appointments, doctor's appointments, and, people that are, tugging on me, that I can't do it. So you use all these things that are going on in your life as an excuse not to take that first step. And so you have this negative attitude about yourself. You have this fear that you can't do it. And so instead, what you tell me and other people that are leaders in, either LifeWise or whatever it is you're doing, and then you say, well, I'm just too busy, or I just don't, there's too much stuff on you guys' website. I can't read it all. And so that's your first thing. Like, it's so much, I can't read it all, so I'm not going to get started. There's so much information that's on the back of the one. There's too many vitamins for me to memorize, and so I'm not going to get started. How many times I hear stuff like that? It kind of cracks me up because what you're doing is you're giving an excuse why you can't get started. It's because you either have a negative attitude as to why you can't do it in your head. If I say something, they're going to make fun of me. I'm just too afraid to put myself out there because they're going to bring up, the last time I did Amway or something, whatever it is, and or Kirby vacuum cleaners or whatever that thing is, right? And so all you're doing is thinking about the negativity or the fearful thing that's happening to you, and then you're saying, you know what, I'm just too busy. I got too many kids. Listen, I have 6 kids. I have 3 businesses. My wife and I do nearly a daily podcast. And I have to upload the audio version and then another video version to 2 networks. We have a lot of other stuff. We're on this crazy carnivore diet that keeps us busy, where we have to cook our own food. And here I am sharing with you, taking, what is it now? It's 23 minutes of out of my day, which I can do to share with you some information about LifeWise and about how you could get past the things that are keeping you from being successful. Can I make time for that? Yes. In spite of all the things that I listed that I have going on, that you can find time. I know that people come to me all the time, and I laugh because they say, you know what, I'm just too busy. They want to get started. They sign up. They put all the information into their side of the website in their back office, and then they stop. And they come up with every excuse why they can't continue to get started because they have negative thoughts or they're afraid of failing. And so they never get started. So what is the next thing? Of course, then we have to pull out of our hat so that we can have success. And that is, we have to get rid of our lack of discipline. Discipline is the foundation of success. Without it, we can easily fall into bad habits that take us off track. Lack of discipline results in inconsistent efforts, which is counterproductive to achieving our goals. So lack of discipline. So I deal with this a lot when I'm talking with my children, especially today when we have a world that promotes lack of discipline, that promotes, playing on PS4 or whatever the game of today is the kids are playing on, Xbox, for instance, or spending all their time on Instagram or TikTok or whatever they're going, is that there's these distractions that the world tells them that they need to be a part of, or that it's okay, and they don't need to listen to parents, and they don't need to listen to the teachers. They don't even need to achieve a high enough standard in school to even get a grade these days. You can have a low standard and still get a passing grade. That mediocrity is okay. But I tell my children just the opposite, of course, is that you need to begin to get discipline early on in your life. And so we try to teach discipline. We try to teach, keeping a clean room, making their bed, reading and paying attention to scripture, waking up early in the morning, showing up early to practice, not being the last ones to show up in practice, to asking for help at practice, to being a disciplined person, to finding out what it is they can do on their own time away from practice. That is super important. I don't know how many employees that I've had over the last couple of years, or even police officers that I've trained. I've trained hundreds, if not thousands, of police officers over the last 30 or 40 years. And one of the things that I'm always shocked when it does happen is that I will tell and I'm going to use a police officer for this example because this is the worst. It drives me crazy. Is that young police officer, I tell them, okay, when you're on your off-duty time, or when you get home from the station, what I would suggest you to do is subscribe to Police Magazine and get that delivered to your house once a month, and read that so you can keep up to date on the newest things that are happening in law enforcement. That you also, with the internet, you can do searches and find out some new laws that are coming out, or, research, if your goal is to eventually be in a detective, or your goal is to be on the K9 unit, or your goal is to be in the helicopter, is that starting today, even though you may not get in the helicopter for 4 or 5 years, is that you start beginning to learn everything you can learn about being a helicopter pilot for the police department. Everything you need to learn about being a K9 handler. And I want you to discipline yourself to starting your day with the thing, with the thing you want to be in the future. And that's your ultimate goal. Whatever your ultimate goal is, those are the things you need to plan out for your day. How are you going to move forward or move towards achieving that goal and that day? And I want you to do that first thing in the morning, not second thing in the morning, not third thing, not at the end of the day. Wake up in the morning and find out, or figure out, either by journaling or scheduling or researching, what it is you're going to do that day to move you forward towards your end goal, whatever that is. And that is part of discipline, so that you make it a daily part of your team. And you will find, like I did, and I'm just going to give you an example. This is something I took into my career as a police officer early on, is that before I even became a police officer, I was studying everything I needed to learn about becoming a K9 handler and being a top-notch K9 handler. And just to kind of give you an example of how that worked out, is that I became a K9 handler within the first 2 years of being a police officer, which is at the time was unheard of. You would have to waited, tested several times, waited 4 or 5 years, and some guys 10 years before they got in the K9 unit. Because I started prior to being a police officer in understanding what it took to be a K9 handler. I began to volunteer for the K9 units on my own time. Within only 2 years, I became a K9 handler. And within about 1.5 years, 2 years of being that, I became a K9 instructor. And then I eventually became the K9 instructor for the police department and then the local agencies around me. So you see, just by that example, how that discipline, that mindset of what is it I'm going to do as soon as I open my eyes, what am I going to do today to push myself towards that goal? Understanding at the time I was going to college, I was an athlete, I was a pole vaulter and competing. I had a job, and I think I may have had a girlfriend at the time, and a bunch of other stuff. And so those of you again that, well, I'm just too busy to. No, you're not. I'm telling you, you're not. What is it you're going to do today? What are you going to discipline yourself today to spend a whatever period of time? It could be 10 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be traveling somewhere to go to a seminar. It doesn't matter. What is it you're going to do to push yourself forward to achieving your goal? So discipline. You got to get discipline on what it is that's going to help you achieve. So in relationship to LifeWise, who is it that I'm going to talk to today about joining me in LifeWise? Put down 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, whatever that is. In the morning, you wake up, okay, who am I going to talk to today? Or what is it I'm going to work on today? Maybe it isn't not talk. Maybe it's not talking to one particular person. Maybe it's going to be creating a few social media posts about LifeWise products. or it's watching the videos that are in the back office or at the Fearless Team website. Whatever that is, what are you going to do today to move yourself forward towards success in that particular thing? And the last thing, of course, is procrastination. Early on in my life, I procrastinated about everything. This is a dangerous enemy that hinders productivity. Procrastination leads to wasted time and opportunities. It is the act of delaying tasks that we find challenging or unpleasant, pushing us further away from our goals. So I mentioned that in my decision to be disciplined, I for me, one of the things is when I'm trying to achieve something or move myself towards something, is that my discipline is to not procrastinate, but to wake up early in the morning, and then the first thing that I do are the things that are difficult. As a business owner for Falco Canine Academy, one of the things I despised the most was reading both positive and negative emails and listening to voicemail. I know, really bad for a business owner, but for me, it was like, man, this is I get so bogged down with all the emails, all the questions, all the social media questions, all the phone calls that come in, that I hardly get anything done. And so what I would do in the beginning is that I would put them off, and I say, you know what, I'll just do those later in the day. And then what ended up happening is that the end of the day would come and I didn't do them. And then the next day, what ended up happening, you have twice as many because you didn't do the ones for the day before. And now you have even more the next day. So now it's piled up. And then you go, now there's too many, I can't ever get to them. And then it just becomes a nightmare. You never catch up. So really early on, I understood that the important thing for me to do is to discipline myself, not to procrastinate with the things I don't like doing and getting them out of the way. So one of the most important things in regard to procrastination is to not to put off the things that you don't want to do. Today, those things happen to be like writing a report for my main business, which is I'm an expert in criminal investigations, and attorneys hire me to look at discovery, which is videos, police reports, photographs, legal documents, and a whole bunch of a number of other things. And so if you're like me, you listen to all that and you go, oh my gosh, that sounds like a pain in the butt. It is. And then after I read all those things and watch all those videos and look at all those pictures, I then have to kind of put together a whole narrative in my head, and I have to write it down into a report, my opinion based on that discovery. And I hate it. That's the worst part of my job. But what do I have to do? My wife will sometimes ask me, what are you doing today? I go, oh, I can't go to the gym because I have to write a report. And so what you have to do, so what I have to do is I have to make sure that it's the first thing I do during the day, is that I make sure that when I wake up and I know I have a report due, is that I say, I have to do this report before I can do anything else. I love going to the gym. I love going out and, doing other things. I love hanging out with my kids. I love doing a whole bunch of other stuff, but I've had to discipline myself not to procrastinate for the things that I don't like doing, and making sure I do those things first thing in the morning. What I have found is that it's so much better when I do that. Do I do that every time? No, because the old man creeps back in every so often, and then I procrastinate and do it the next day. And when I do that, it turns into a gigantic snowball, where then I procrastinate. Well, I procrastinated yesterday. Why don't I just procrastinate today? Why should I do that? Why should I do it today? I didn't do it yesterday. And then the next day and the next day. So I've learned that I have to be strong and disciplined, not to procrastinate, do that thing first thing in the morning. And then I get it out of the way, and it's off my shoulders. It's off my heart. It's off my brain. And now it's gone and it's done, and it feels so much better. So for those of you that love to procrastinate, and the pain of procrastination, because it's just painful as you continue to do it, that you never catch up, that the discipline that I mentioned before, that is where you get through the procrastination. All right. So just to run through it one more time, again, if you are part of my team, you'll get an email with these things in it with a little bit more information to follow. But the number one biggest enemy is fear of failure. The second one is a negative mindset you have to get over. And then the lack of discipline, and then procrastination. Those are the things that you are going to have to understand are the enemy of success. All right. One last thing before I leave you. And that is of course, I love going to the Bible for certain aspects of whatever it is we're talking about on the shows. And so I'm going to go to the scriptures that address fear. And these are all great. And so my source today is BibleStudyTools.com, which I love going to. It's really a quick and easy way to find information that you're looking for, really quickly. And so the top Bible verses for fear is Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." 1 John 4:18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love." Oh, that's good. Psalm 34:4, "I sought out the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears." I should tattoo that on my arm, because that's surely what the Lord has done with me. Joshua 1:9, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you is with you wherever you go." And Proverbs 29:25 says, "The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe." So on this same website, it has a prayer, and I think it's important that we say this prayer. So say to yourself, "God, you know that we live in a crazy and chaotic world that makes fear soar. You also know my struggles in my daily life. When life gets to be too much, please help me come to you. Calm my thoughts and emotions and open my heart to your peace, comfort, and wisdom. Help me not to live in fear. Please reduce the feelings of fear and anxiety that plague me. Help me rest in you and trust you as I navigate through this broken world. In your name, I pray, Jesus. Amen." That is awesome. I love that prayer. So, guys, everybody that's watching, make sure and address these enemies: the fear of failure, negativity, discipline, and procrastination, and get them out of the way. Move forward every day. Wake up in the morning, decide what it is you're going to work on to move you closer to your success, to your idea of success, or to your goal of success. And not procrastinate. Don't put off those things that you don't like doing. Do those things first. If it has to do with a phone call or returning an email, get it out of the way. I know it's a pain in the butt. I feel the same way as you do. Get those things out of the way first thing in the morning, and that will help you get to those things that are going to push you towards that level of success that you're looking for. LifeWise is an amazing company already. It's just it's July 4th. I don't even think we're at a full month yet. Nope, we're not even at a full month yet. This is the third. So tomorrow will be our first month in existence as a full-fledged company. And already I got where's my credit card? Oh, man, I had my credit card here. I already got my credit card, which is the card that we have now, so that the money that we earn, we can just use that to purchase things. And already I have more money in my account in 1 month of this company being in existence than I did in any other company that I've been involved in as a network marketing company. And it's amazing. So I love it. Those of you that are on my team that are having success, congratulations. Continue to add more people. It's amazing the progress that many of you are having. And for those of you that are struggling to get started, listen to this video, put some things into motion, begin to put away the things that are stopping you, the fear, the negativity, whatever that is, or the procrastination. Get started and just take one step at a time. If you need any help, let me know. I can also connect you with Fran or Dr. Gibbs, or even Rob Alwyn, who is the creator of LifeWise. If that's going to help you get to where you want to go, let me know so I can help you. And all of you, look for the email that's coming out. If you're not getting my emails and you're on my team, make sure and let me know so I can get you into the system so that you can receive all my emails. All right, my friends, go to the URLs that are in the description, and that way you can keep up with what's going on and check out some of the products and purchase them. All right, my friends, love you guys. God bless. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, where is it? Hello.